I think the most prestigious title in wrestling history would be the WWE Championship. There's so much lineage to it. It dates back further than most. And I think that the three of us should break it down and we should give our top five of who is the best WWE champions ever. But we can't do that as usual because first we got to tell the viewers, if you're new to the channel, be sure to subscribe. We drop daily wrestling content. Right over here is the WWE shop link. Make sure you click it. It doesn't cost anything extra, but you support our boys. And Matt needs a better camera when he's traveling, so help us out. So, you guys ready to dig into this or what?
Let's dig.
Absolutely, 100%. Speaking of the WWE shop, Matt's got that new Levels Above Roman Reigns shirt. I'm hating a little bit there. Hating a little bit.
Luckily, I didn't wear mine. But you did get that really nice Roddy Piper shirt, though.
Oh, dude, with CM Punk, man, it's just like I love his gear. And I know you guys are gonna bash you for this. I'm not a huge CM Punk guy, and I'm from Chicago. I don't know why.
I hear you on that. I like
It's
him. I like
okay.
he's on TV, but I'm not a fangirl or anything, you know.
I think it's
I'll
because I miss his
fangirl
reign.
enough for the three of us.
Oh, we know MVP. We know.
So we're talking WWE championships.
Yeah.
Alexis went first last week, so let me go first this week. I gotta go with Hulk Hogan. That's who I remember of WWE Championship. When I started watching wrestling, the matches that he was, I mean, he's headlining every WrestleMania pretty much when I was watching.
Yeah.
He lost against Warrior, but he beat like Sergeant Slaughter, Psycho Sid, Macho Man Randy Savage at WrestleMania 5 was great. I mean, you can't beat Hulkamania. I mean, when you think about the Winged Eagle title, it's Hulkamania for me. That's who you think about, you know? But yeah, number one on my list is Mr. Hulk Hogan. Even though he lies about everything, it's Hulk Hogan.
I mean, the yellow and red, man. Eat your
Yep.
vitamins, say your prayers. I mean, who wasn't a Hulkamaniac? I mean, really. I mean, who wasn't one?
Yeah.
Sergeant Slaughter, maybe. But no.
Way to dig deep on your first pick there, Lucky. Way to dig deep.
Yeah. We'll go to MVP on the next one.
All right, my number one.
Oh,
I got my lay. I have it right there. So
putting up the ones, baby.
Roman Reigns. So you pick Hogan. He's got a longer reign. He's got a longer reign than Roman Reigns. Roman Reigns' reign stands at 1,316 days. But I do believe at this modern day age, he has stepped into the GOAT conversation alone.
100%.
I mean, he took what was the era of the WWE, the pandemic era, the Thunderdome era. He made money, and then he transformed it when the crowds came back, and he became the best ever. I can't even speak against it. Roman Reigns is the GOAT.
That's why the crowd is chanting, "We want Roman."
I do want to mention uh, there was news that the Jordan 12 shoe that they were supposed to release and honored the bloodline, and I am so pissed about that. It's canceled.
I was going to cop those day one.
Yes. No, they look so good. They look so good. And I was really pissed when it got canceled. I'm like, man, no way. No. Yeah. I kept looking for it being a hoax. It's not a hoax. They canceled it. Dumb decision on them. They got no problem making money, the Jordan brand, but they could have made a lot more money.
Yeah. Just saying. It's probably because WWE wasn't going to make any money on it. It's probably why.
Well, Roman Reigns would have.
True. All right. Third man, who we got?
All right. Well, I know I talked about Lucky not digging deep, but I'm not really digging deep either. Here's my guy right here. Oh, hell yeah. Stone Cold Steve Austin. So I think everybody knows who Stone Cold Steve Austin is. 6-time WWE champ, 3-time Royal Rumble winner. What?
What?
What? I mean, the only guy, I believe, the only person to ever win the Royal Rumble three different times. I
Three
believe his
times. Yep.
yeah, three times. But I believe his title reigns add up to about 529 days. He had that iconic rivalries. I mean, with Rock, with Shawn
Yep.
Michaels. With Shawn Michaels, he had Mike Tyson as the referee. With The
Uh-huh.
Rock, WrestleMania 17, that iconic My Way buildup. I mean,
Oh, the best.
argue, arguably the most over, most popular wrestler of all time. And R.I.P. to Owen Hart. But if it wasn't for Owen Hart breaking his neck, man, he probably could have been the man for another 5, 7 years, easy.
Well,
Um,
I mean, you know what? I'll not that I'll say this: if that never happens, does Austin change his wrestling style to be a just I'm just gonna kick your ass and then stun you? Because he
no, I
was he
don't
was
think
a
so.
technical wrestler. He was a technical wrestler when he before that injury.
No, I agree. I agree 100%. But with neck injuries, man, you're taking those bumps, and back in the day,
Yeah,
that day, they're wrestling 250, 275 days, out of the year, doing a ton of house shows.
yeah,
Not like the softer schedule, of nowadays.
yeah.
So, but man, I mean, the height of Stone Cold Steve Austin, you still see the Austin 316 shirts out there. I'm talking about looked
Oh
incredible
no,
when he came back and faced Kevin
the
Owens.
best selling shirt ever.
Oh,
Yeah.
I mean, I think heard seen something. He's made like $20 million just off the shirts, of the royalties of the shirts alone. So
Hmm.
for me, number one, Stone Cold Steve Austin.
My dad had a Stone Cold shirt. He liked Stone Cold. He wasn't big into wrestling, but he liked Stone Cold, and it had like the buttons
Yeah.
on it, so you could press the shirt and it would say like "Hell yeah," and it'd do like the glass shatter. He had that, but my number one or number two actually, because I went first. I gotta piggyback off both of you with Stone Cold and a Samoan. I gotta go The Rock.
Yeah, baby.
If you smell. Okay,
Yeah,
so did
baby.
you know his first three title reigns as WWE champion was against one person?
Stone Cold.
Mankind.
Oh, Mankind.
Yep. He won his first one against Mankind in the Deadly Games tournament at Survivor Series,
Oh,
which I want to see the same night tournaments come back. I love those. That's why I like King of the Ring. I like that being a one night thing because it's like all the wrestlers get tired throughout the night and it's like,
Agreed,
you could
100%.
I like that.
yeah.
I mean, I don't see why we don't do that. But I mean, if AEW can have pay per views for 7 hours, why can't WWE? But but yeah. And then the second match was the I Quit match against Mankind.
That was brutal.
Uh-huh.
Those chair shots
Brutal.
Oh,
with Mankind being handcuffed, I still remember that to this day. Oh my god, so crazy.
And Mankind didn't lose that match. He just had a recording of him saying "I quit," and that's how he won. But and then the
he
third
let his
match,
kids watch that match.
true.
Oh my god.
And then the third time he won it was ladder match against Mankind on Raw. So he worked very well with Mankind. Then obviously you got to talk about the Stone Cold matches, which you've already touched on, so I'm not going to touch it. Kurt Angle had a couple of good feuds with him. Triple H. I mean, The Rock. You say Stone Cold might be one of the best of all time. I might argue The Rock just because he had more. I think he had more moments wrestling wise than Stone Cold. He, faced Hogan, John Cena, 8-time world or WWE champion. And it was against all like the best in the business. So I gotta go The Rock.
I mean, The Rock's definitely on the
Okay.
Mount Rushmore. I mean, if not, he's 4 or 5 of all time. I can't argue with that.
All right, MVP.
All right. My next pick, Bruno Sammartino.
It's good.
Oh, he's throwing it back, throwing it way
It's
back.
good.
So right now his record stands. His first title reign ended at 2,803.
Insane.
I mean, that's another 2 years for Roman if he kept the title. Just
Yeah.
imagine that. another 2 years with Roman at the as champion. We'd be so sick of it.
That's
I
five
Um,
mean,
years.
yeah,
yeah.
yeah, and then his second reign, 1,237 days. That just goes to show you that they had nobody believable to take the title off of Bruno. Bruno spent most of his career as WWE champion.
Well, I think what it is too is that he drew money. I mean, you can't have
That
someone
too,
as
yeah,
a
absolutely,
5 year reign and a 3 year reign if they
yeah,
weren't, drawing in money. I mean, I've done some research on Bruno. They said he sold out Madison Square Garden like
yeah,
700 times or something crazy like that, right? Like anytime Bruno came to town, everybody, the seats were packed, and
yeah. Good looking man. He's fucking huge.
oh yeah, for
Yep.
sure, absolutely, absolutely.
Money to be made around that guy. Yeah, totally.
100%, 100%. Well, I know Lucky said the winged eagle reminds him of Hulk Hogan. When I think of the winged eagle, I think of the best there is, the best there was, and the best there ever will be. That's my first real inclination, real memory of that winged eagle. When Bret Hart comes out with that music and you hear that guitar riff and you see the pink, you seen that those pink lights coming out. I mean,
Yeah,
five-time world champion, I believe 654 days as champion, had that iconic rivalry with Shawn Michaels
yeah,
culminated at the first Iron Man match, of all,
yeah,
in WWE. WrestleMania 12 actually went to a draw with no pinfalls. I actually watched that match back, and it really wasn't nothing to really talk about until maybe the last 20 minutes of that match when it actually heated up and came out to be a draw. I remember Bret Hart was walking away, and I don't know if it was, I can't remember off the top of my head who it was, if it was Gorilla Monsoon or Jack Tunney restarted the match, and then
Jack Tunney.
Sean hit the sweet chin music in the white tights and won it.
Hmm.
But Bret the Hitman Hart, just excellence of execution, the way he used to hit that sharpshooter, credited for so many great things. I always wanted to be that kid that got the pink sunglasses that he used to give out. I always wanted to be that kid. Never got to be that
Yeah.
kid. And I just think a lot of people forget about Bret the Hitman. And for me, he's one of my best WWE champions of all time.
Bret Hart is definitely one of my favorites. If I'm going like best of all time, like Mount Rushmore, my personal, he's top three for sure. That's just
Mhm.
me. But you know what I'm going with, and we just talked about this a little bit ago. I mean, I don't know why MVP Mr. Fangirl for CM Punk didn't take him, but CM Punk, I'm taking CM Punk. 436-day run where he beats Alberto Del Rio for the title, but it is kind of crazy that like you go this long-term title reign and you got to give it up to the
Hmm.
Rock at Royal Rumble. That's how you lose it, because they got to have Rock and Cena. It's the money match. So,
Yep.
but Punk, very good feuds, and he had the odds stacked against him. He had Paul Heyman, but the one person that was always trying to get the title away from him was People Power John Laurinaitis. Did not want him to have the title. Um, but yeah, I mean, it was a very memorable feud, or not feud, title run. Um, I can't say enough about it. I mean, CM Punk, especially when you got Paul Heyman, those two together, that's money. That's great. So, I think the only title match I didn't like in that run was Chris Jericho at Mania because it was built up on, you're an alcoholic and your family's an alcoholic, and it's like,
Yeah.
what does that got to do with wrestling? Like, like CM Punk's already said he doesn't do this stuff, but whatever.
Straight edge
Um,
Yeah.
society, baby.
yep. So yeah, I go CM Punk.
Hmm. Okay.
I know Matt likes that one.
I do. I wanted that, but I had to settle for Mr. Bob Backlund.
It's a nice
The
consolation prize.
crossface chicken wing, baby.
Yeah. Oh
Hmm.
my God. That when he did that, it looked devastating. Um, One reign, 2,135 days.
Wow.
Bested by the Iron Sheik.
Wow.
Wow. Camel clutch. I believe he beat him with the camel clutch.
Yeah, and well, and then Who was his manager at the time? Didn't he throw in the towel? So he didn't actually tap.
Right, right.
Yeah, who was that? I don't remember.
Who was the
I can't remember.
didn't do our homework?
Didn't do our homework for sure.
It's gonna be
I
another
remember he had a
Territory
great.
Days video.
I know he had a great feud with Bret Hart, with Bret the Hitman Hart. I remember
Yes. Oh, absolutely. Yeah.
when he came
Um.
back during like the new era.
Yeah. Oh, and then he he tried to be a manager for Darren Young.
Oh yeah, that didn't work out well.
Yeah. I mean, he's still Arnold Skolin.
That's it. Yep.
Arnold Skolin. Yeah.
The
Threw in the
graduation
towel.
outfit. Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, let it be known the record. He was bested by the Iron Sheik.
Yeah, dude. Speaking of
Nice.
the Iron Sheik, man, I do you remember when the Iron Sheik used to have those big clubs that he used to go behind his
Yeah.
back with, and that he used to do
Yeah.
those. He used to challenge people to do them. Yeah, that's just shout out to the Iron Sheik, man. Another great WWE champ. I don't think he's on any of our lists, but shout out to the Iron Sheik. All right, my number 3. I am gonna go with um, not only a great WWE champion, the only person that's ever been a WWE champion and a UFC heavyweight champion. I'm gonna go with the next big thing, Brock Lesnar. I mean, what's not to say about this guy? I think at the time he was the youngest WWE champion ever. I think he still might be the youngest WWE champion ever. I remember his
Yeah.
feuds with
25 years
Kurt.
old.
25 years old. I mean, I remember him coming in looking like a shit brick house, having amazing matches with Kurt Angle, The Rock, Cena. I mean, the memorable moment, right? The guy broke the streak. He broke Undertaker's streak at WrestleMania. I mean,
Yeah.
just amazing. I mean, that wasn't a title match, but I mean, nobody ever thought that streak was ever going to be ever be broken. And the thing about
Yeah.
Lesnar that I think he doesn't get enough credit is the guy knows how to sell. He knows how to
Yeah.
make the person he's in the ring with look like $1 million. Um,
Absolutely.
and when he got with Paul Heyman, and Paul Heyman was like his the advocate. I mean, just took him to the
Uh-huh.
next level. Did it with all those guys. Had great rivalries with Roman Reigns back and forth when he became the Universal Champion. And a lot of people knock
Yep.
Brock for being a part-time guy, but the thing about it is, when you hear that music hit, you know it's on.
Yep.
So Brock Lesnar for me, number 3 on my list.
It's good. I'll bring up someone that Brock beat for the title at SummerSlam, but 13-time WWE champion John Cena. Gotta go, my boy
Oh,
John
I can't
Cena.
believe it took us this long to put Super Cena on there.
Yeah.
You know what though? Talk about Super Cena, and everyone says he buries talent. He has put over a lot of talent in his title
Agreed.
Yeah.
reigns. He
100%.
put over Sheamus, that was like in his first year in a tables match. Like,
Rookie Sheamus.
he had no problem doing that. And John Cena, he's like the opposite of Hogan when it comes to, like, Hogan thinks that, like, I'm the money, like, you can't take the title off me. Cena does what's best for business. Okay, CM Punk at Money in the Bank, give it to him, because that's what's gonna make money for us. And like I said, Sheamus, and he even put over Bray Wyatt in the Elimination Chamber. He lost the title to Bray Wyatt. So he put over a lot of talent, whether people like to believe it or not. But going back to why he's on this list, I mean, there's like a lot of different reigns he's had, but the biggest like feuds I remember like really digging is Edge. The feuds with Edge is just fantastic.
Yep.
He won his first title with JBL. There was a feud there, but if you're going best feuds of all time, I gotta go with Cena and Orton. Cena and Orton is one of the best feuds of our lifetime of watching. Like, you got
Absolutely.
Shawn and Brett, you got Flair and Hogan, you got Cena and Orton, and
Cena
those
and
were
Orton,
great
yep.
title matches. So yeah, I mean, John Cena, 13-time champion, and I hope one day he gets one more title run and he becomes the greatest. He deserves it for all the stuff he's done in the ring and out of the ring.
Yep.
He deserves to hold that
17-time
record.
champ.
But yeah, I'm going Cena.
All right, my next one is that guy that you said was the greatest rival to Cena. It's Randy
Hey,
Orton.
nothing you can say. No.
Three deadliest letters in WWE, baby.
Yeah. Uh huh. The youngest ever world heavyweight champion. Who did he beat?
Triple H.
Are you serious?
No, no, I'm thinking of.
We can't speak his name.
You sure?
Oh, yeah.
How about Chris Benoit? We'll say Chris Benoit is what we'll say.
Oh, I'm
Crisp.
thinking of I'm thinking of the World Heavyweight Championship. That's why I
No, no,
said
no,
Triple.
no,
Okay, yeah, that makes
no.
sense.
Oh
Okay,
yeah, well yeah, yeah. But as WWE, he's a
WWE
ten
champion.
time WWE champion. He's a 14-time world champion, and classic rivalries, classic feuds. The ones with Triple H where he had his family involved. He
Mhm.
punted every member of the McMahon family. Um, there's Ric Flair's on record saying that he wants Orton to be a 17-time champion to break his record. I don't think that's gonna happen. Cena needs one more, so he's a more logical choice. Orton, I think he's just on the back end right now, especially with the coming back from back surgery. But Orton's on my list at 4.
I mean, I hear you saying he's on the back of his career, but he's arguably doing some of the best work. I mean, in ring work and in
Yeah,
ring psychology. I mean, I think that he's done in his career. I mean, I know Michael Cole said it a lot, and I agree with it. If you're gonna build a wrestler, right, looks on the mic, wrestling
yeah,
ability, all of it,
yeah,
psychology,
yeah.
it's Randy Orton. It's Randy
It
Orton.
it totally is.
It's Randy Orton. So yeah.
And no, but I mean, I just can't be. After every like big profile match now, he's favoring his back going back to the ring.
Hmm.
I mean, how much longer can we say this holds up? I
True.
mean, I want it to go as long as it can because he's great,
That could be
but
a lot of selling because he was in an interview recently and he said that he wants to go at minimum another 5 years before he retires. He said he's got 5 more years he wants to travel and be on the grind and be a full time wrestler. Then he wants to like hang it up after that. So I mean, maybe his back is obviously hurting, but maybe he's just selling a little bit to get, the sympathy, but never know.
I mean, versatile
well,
too. I remember. I mean, guy with RK Bro. I mean, RK Bro tag
yeah.
team champions. Who thought that was going to happen? But yeah, awesome pick with RKO. So I'm gonna go with an Evolution stablemate for my number 4, and I'm gonna go with the game, the Cerebral Assassin, Triple H. I mean, this guy is a 9-time WWE champion. I mean, leading the New Revolution. I mean,
Mhm.
when I think of Triple H, I think of those iconic entrance music. He's had Motorhead, he's had Time to Play the Game, Bow Down to the King. Just an awesome competitor, awesome on the mic. I remember he's had so many rivalries with Rock and Cena. He had that crazy Royal Rumble match, Falls Count Anywhere with Mankind. Um,
Mhm.
I remember when he tore his quad. I remember he tore
Yeah.
both of his quads in a match and finished the match. I mean, just a super tough guy. Has been in the ring with everybody. I mean, when stood next to Ric Flair and Batista and Randy Orton, Evolution, was the leader of DX. I don't care what anybody says. They say Shawn Michaels, Triple H was the leader of DX and the
Yeah.
leader of arguably some of the greatest era in wrestling as far as for WWE. He's leading that, currently. So Triple H has to be on the list. I wish I had a water bottle here so I can spit the water bottle out at the camera because that was an awesome entrance. There we go, Lucky. There we go. But Triple H gonna round up number 4 for me.
Spit
Well,
the water.
I
Spit
won't
the
spit the
water.
water because I'm not going to deal with my wife on that. But I will do this instead. I'm going to give you my number 5. And
Okay.
I'm gonna call it the Sid sandwich because he's a 3-time champion with Psycho Sid in the middle of the same two feuds.
Who's the
Shawn
man?
Michaels, Shawn Michaels, and
HBK.
it's a Sid sandwich because this first win was a very good boyhood dream Iron Man
Mhm.
match, Bret
Yep.
Hart, and then he had a good reign after that. Then you got the Sid reign, which was pretty good, but then you got when he beats Bret Hart again at the Montreal Screwjob, and
Oh
he wins the
wow.
title, and that catapults him into now he's on some stuff by then because of his back and all that,
Yeah.
but he starts feuding with Taker and Austin and a lot of good moments. I mean, it sucks that he hurt his back, but without that and without the hiatus, maybe he doesn't do all the good things he's done in his life and have a way better second half of his career, in my opinion. But
Yeah.
I'm a big fan of Everything Happens for a Reason, and he's one of the greatest of all time, and I think that he should be on this list. So, the Sid sandwich between
The Sid
Heart and Heart.
sandwich.
But yeah, I'll do Sean there.
Okay. My final one he had a classic WrestleMania match against Shawn, not for the title, but he's a 4-time champion, Kurt Angle,
Yeah,
and only a 4-time WWE champion. Uh, what 1-time world heavyweight? So he's a 5-time world champion. I don't know if you count TNA championships. He's had multiple. Um, he won his first his rookie year against The Rock. Talk about
Yeah.
rocket ship, just having the rocket strapped to you. He did, and he deserved it because he natural in the ring, and then later in his career he brought the comedy, and with Stone Cold Steve Austin.
I mean, Kurt
yeah,
Angle is arguably the most well-rounded, all-around entertainer of all
Yeah.
time. I know a lot of people talk about Logan Paul. Oh, nobody's taken to this business, quicker and better than Logan Paul. Yeah, that's bullshit. Kurt Angle took to this
No, no,
business.
I agree with you,
Yeah, Kurt
one
Angle took.
hundred percent.
Yeah, he took to this business. I mean, like he
Yeah,
walked in like he's been doing it
yeah,
for 50
uh huh,
years. I mean, I remember I'm not sure, but I think he held the European Championship. I think in 1 year he
yep,
held like the European Championship, the IC title, and then won the
he's
world title all in 1 year.
yep, he
I
was
mean,
Euro Continental Champion.
yeah, Euro Continental Champion. I mean, double
Yep,
champ. So, I mean, like you said, the
yep,
comedy that he did, right? The
uh
comedy
huh,
just, I think, just took him to a different level. He was able to do things that other entertainers just couldn't do. I mean, and that angle slam. I mean, and
oh,
then
it's
when he
great.
takes then he takes off the singlet to put you on that in that ankle
yeah.
lock. I mean, Kurt Angle, man, just one of the
I
greatest of
just
all time, dude. One of the greatest of all time, like bar none.
I just think about if he would have taken some time off to
Mm-hmm.
actually get the proper neck surgery.
Mm-hmm.
Just take a year or two off and come back. He wouldn't be Perk Angle.
No, for sure. And then, like you mentioned, the TNA run. I mean, that's arguably
Yeah,
he had arguably a
yeah,
greater run in
uh-huh,
TNA than he
yeah,
did, in WWE, and that's saying a lot. That's saying a lot.
yeah,
So, yeah, Kurt Angle, great pick, MVP to round out your top five. All right, so I'm gonna go with a guy who I believe he only had one title reign, but I think it was one of the most memorable and iconic title reigns of all time. The first ever undisputed WWE champion. This guy
yeah.
beat The Rock and Stone Cold in the same night to be champion.
The same
And that's
night.
Y2J, Chris Jericho. I'll never forget Chicago, Illinois. We see the countdown, we see the
Yep.
pyro, and then he has those arms just spread out. And it's like, okay, he's here. This guy is legit. Um, just iconic feuds during that Attitude Era with guys we've mentioned, Rock, Stone Cold, great intercontinental feuds, all around, great on the mic, and just he wasn't the guy that anybody thought was gonna win. I mean, you think you got Rock and you have Stone Cold in a tournament, right, with Chris Jericho? There was no way Chris Jericho was gonna win. I mean, it was 2001 Vengeance. I'll never forget it. And
Yeah.
just having those two belts was awesome. I don't think we've ever seen that before. And he has just turned his career into, talking about one of the goats. This guy, what he's done in Japan, what he's done in AEW is just second to none. Has changed his
Yeah.
character, over and over, refresh that character, and that's what truly the greatest do. So for me, WWE champion, only a one-time reign, but extremely important reign, Chris Jericho.
Yeah.
Wrestling's master of reinvention.
The only thing I don't like about him right now is he looks like melted ice cream. But other than that, I mean, he
Yeah.
can't beat Chris Jericho. But you know, no. And my favorite version, real quick, of Chris Jericho, I gotta get this out there. The List. That was the greatest version of
Oh,
Chris Jericho, in my opinion. Just what
I got a,
happens?
I got the shirt. You just made the list
Yeah.
with the scarf. With the scarf.
You know what
Yeah.
happens to podcasters who kind of film in hotel rooms? You just made the list.
No.
And the funny thing is,
And
wrestlers sold it. Like they didn't want to be on the list.
yeah,
Like
like
no.
no.
But yeah, no. I mean, great picks. If you're watching this, drop in the comments. There is an abundance of WWE champions that maybe didn't make the cut for us, and you think they deserve to be in there. Let us know. Check us out on YouTube, Spotify, TikTok. Again, use this WWE shop link. Support your boys. And yeah, we'll see you boys on the next one.
See you next week, y'all. Subscribe